This is an orthokeratology case where after the first night of wear, the patient's getting pretty good correction in the left eye, but almost no correction in the right eye. And so we have the initial topography as well as the topography after one night of treatment. And I can kind of see a ortho-K reverse curve kind of starting to form here, but it's definitely not complete, not very distinct, and the patient doesn't have very much myopia corrected. That said, I probably would not change the lens after just one night of wear. I would let the patient wear the lens for maybe a week or so, and I don't think the original lens will necessarily correct the full amount of myopia, which is around a 1 3/4 diopters, but we may find that the patient does get some molding as opposed to no molding at all, and that will affect the target that we put in for the new lens. This patient is nearing presbyopic age, and so we probably don't want to over minus the refraction by ordering the lens that gets too much molding. So I would give it a little bit more time, especially for adults. I do find that adults mold a little bit slower than children do. And it's a little bit inconvenient for the patient to have the blurred vision in one eye, but in terms of end result accuracy, I think one night of wear is probably not enough time to determine how much to change the lens. When it is time to change the lens, and this is I believe this is the lens that the patient is wearing. There were two lenses designed for, actually there were three lenses designed for the right eye, and I'm just going to choose this one. I'm guessing this is the one that the patient actually wore. So what I would recommend is after about a week, see where the refraction is, and if the full initial diopter and 3/4 is still there, then go ahead and build it into the power of the lens. Let's say the patient comes back in a week and the refraction shows -1, then what we do is we just change the power, and our new target will be 2.18. So in 100% mode, we just click up until we're at 218, and most of the time we won't get it exact, but we can get it pretty close. The other thing I like to do is go through the meridians individually in 25% mode and just make sure they're pretty uniform. Sometimes we get a little bit of variability in the meridians. Okay, so now we're pretty close to 2.18 in every meridian. This lens is a little bit flatter than what I would expect we need for this given cornea K value and refraction, but if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. The other thing we could do is you mentioned peripheral seal loss, and we could give the patient maybe 6 or 7 microns of clearance there. I don't think it'll really be clearance in the center, but this will seal off the periphery of the lens a little bit better. And then one last thing, I probably wouldn't build it into the first time this lens is redesigned, but if the tissue just is not molding, shortening the OZ and the IC will help. That allows us to get more myopic correction without moving as much corneal tissue, and that can also help with our undercorrected myopia. So I would just give the patient a little bit more time and recheck the refraction, and then go ahead and build that in. Increase the sagittal depth of the lens a little bit so that the periphery does bear down, and see if that takes care of the residual myopia. So hope this helps, and thanks for watching.